Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to take a look at some of the remaining free agents that are still available, which some of these guys are definitely kind of surprising, and I wanted to talk about potentially why I think why some of them are still available, because it could be a good reason why a lot of them might still be available. But before I get deeper into that, obviously, welcome to the channel. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, hit that like button. If you really enjoy it, hit that subscribe button. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would greatly appreciate it. I want to have every hockey fan I can find be a part of the channel. It'd be fantastic. I would definitely love it. So, yeah, again, if you like it, hit like and subscribe. That would be absolutely awesome. You would be an absolute legend. So, free agents. We've got some interesting free agents that are still available. And I'm wearing the Cup champions because the number one guy that honestly I think all these other free agents are waiting for, they're waiting to see what he brings. And of course, as I'm wearing the champs, that would be Nazem Kadri. I think a lot of the players that are still available, they're waiting to see exactly what Kadri gets. What does he get for term? What does he get for a cap hit? I think that is going to play a big part. And once that is decided, I think all of these other free agents will then start signing. Because, I mean, the big free agent that's still available there, you've got Kadri. That's Kadri. But John Klingberg is still without a team. Paul Stastny is still unsigned. Patrice Bergeron, well, he still hasn't made his mind up, but he either retires or he plays for Boston. That's Bergeron. But Phil Kessel is still without a team. Nino Niederreiter is still without a team, which is honestly kind of surprising. But again, and PK Subban also. I can't remember if I said PK Subban, but Subban's available, and it's just there's some interesting teams in there, and it's interesting, Johnny Gaudreau, signing the deal that he signed, leaving money on the table. It's kind of surprising that when that signing happened, that a lot of these other ones didn't go yet. But I think this is why I think they're all waiting to see what Kadri gets. What kind of term is he going to get? He's 31 years old. Is Kadri looking at the type of deal that Letang and Malkin got? Is that maybe what he's looking for? 4-5 year deal? I don't know. It kind of has me wondering if that's the kind of deal that he's looking for. Because he is 31 years old. I can't see him getting a 6 or 7 year deal. It could happen, but I mean, Malkin just signed 4-year deal, $6.1 million. Now, granted, Malkin is 35, so I mean he's a little older. He's 4 years older than Kadri. Letang, who they also just signed, they signed him for also $6.1 million. Now, granted, Letang is a defenseman, but they signed him for 6 years, did Pittsburgh. So it kind of has me wondering, is that maybe where Kadri's wanting to be? Malkin signed a 4-year deal, Letang signed a 6. So is Kadri maybe looking for 5? And then with the year he had, what is he wanting? The number that's been thrown out there, that's been thrown around, is he's looking for at least $8 million per season. Now, does Colorado do that? Colorado would, to make room to re-sign Nazem Kadri, they'd have to make some room. They would have to potentially trade somebody. They'd have to do something. They would have to make some room somehow. And who do you trade? Honestly, who would you trade? Do you trade, do you trade Johnson? I mean, right now, Colorado has $3.9 million in available cap space. Yeah, you're not going to re-sign Kadri with that. You are definitely not going to re-sign Kadri for that. And needless to say, Kadri is not even on the... He's not even on the cap-friendly page. But, I look at a guy like Rantanen. Rantanen's making $9.25 million per season for the next 3 years. Of course, Landeskog's making $7 million. Do you think Kadri's better than Landeskog? Yeah, I don't know. McKinnon, of course. McKinnon has 1 year left on his deal. He's making $6.3 million. It'll be interesting for McKinnon to see what exactly does Kadri get. He might be waiting also, because I have to think with the year that McKinnon had, and the fact that he's only getting better and he's 26 years old, he's a UFA after next season. He's not going to take that home team discount again. There's no way. Especially if he has the same kind of season next year as he had this year. He'd be a $10 million player, maybe even 11. That's how good McKinnon could be. That could be what he gets on the open market. If he gets to the open market, I think Colorado would be out of their mind to not try and re-sign him. But again, that's something they got to figure out. But I think a lot of these, the Kadri signing, I think, is where a lot of them are waiting for. And again, who would Colorado have to trade to bring him back? Do you trade JT Compher? He has a $3.5 million cap hit for 1 more year. You just re-signed Cogliano and Helm, so I don't think you trade that. Eric Johnson maybe. Yeah, you go and trade Eric Johnson. He's got a $6 million cap hit for 1 more year. Do you have to trade 2 of those guys? Do you have to trade Johnson and Compher potentially to bring Kadri back in? If he's wanting, say, $8 million a year? And that's the figure that's just been thrown around. I don't know if that's actually what he's looking for, but that's kind of the figure that a lot of people have thrown around, that's the area where he'd like to be. He'd like to be in the $8 million a year area. And again, is he better than Landeskog? He's 2 years older than Landeskog. Landeskog's 29, and he's making $7 million a year for the next 7 years. Again, another pretty good value there if you look at that. But is Kadri better than Landeskog? Are you really wanting to pay Nazem Kadri who granted had a career year this last year. Are you really wanting to pay him $8 million a year and, have him make more money than Landeskog? Are you really wanting him to make more money than McKinnon? I mean, granted, McKinnon is going to get a big pay raise. Big. After, if he gets to the market. And that's a big if. Colorado, there's no way they're going to want it. They're going to do everything in their power to extend Nathan McKinnon. They do not want him to go anywhere. So I don't anticipate McKinnon going anywhere after next season. But again, you never know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of these guys have not signed yet. They're waiting to see what Kadri gets. Does he get $8 million a year? I don't know. Does he get more than that? I can't think he'd get much more than that. But, I mean, maybe he gets like 8.25. Maybe. And then how long of a term? 4 years? 5 years? What's he wanting to do? And again, I honestly, I think $8 million would make sense, I think, for Kadri, maybe even a little lower. Because some people were saying, you might want 9. I'm like, $9 million? No. I was like, because Kirill Kaprizov here for the Minnesota Wild makes $9 million a year. I'm sorry, Kadri's not as good as Kaprizov. No way. Kadri's good, but he's not Kirill Kaprizov good. So that's, I think, what we're waiting on. We're waiting to see what he gets and where he would go. Who could he sign with? Now, it's interesting. It says here some of the potential destinations. It's interesting. They don't list Colorado. They list Calgary, the New York Islanders, and the Seattle Kraken. Calgary could be interesting. They just lost Johnny Gaudreau. Bring in Nazem Kadri. That could be interesting. That really could be an interesting setup. Would you want to go back to Canada? Maybe. I don't know. The New York Islanders, that would be an interesting fit, I think, too. I think that could be very interesting. Put him alongside Barzell and Lee and those boys. And of course, Seattle, good young up and coming team. Just entering their second year. Who knows? So those are 3 potential destinations that is potentially on here. Colorado, I still think Colorado re-signs him. I think Colorado ends up re-signing him. I think that's why he's waiting. That's why he's still not signed with anybody. Because I think he wants to go back to Colorado, but Colorado's got some moves to make first. And again, who do they move? The most logical ones that I think they could move would be JT Compher and his $3.5 million cap hit for 1 more year, and Eric Johnson, who his cap hit is $6 million for next year. I think those are the 2 that they may have to trade if they want to re-sign Nazem Kadri. Will they do it? We'll find out. Free agent frenzy. We might get a second part to this, because honestly, I think the minute Kadri signs, I think you're going to see all of these other guys that are still out there. I think you're going to start, when Kadri signs, they'll see what he got. That'll kind of set the rest of the market, and then it'll be a domino effect. Everybody else will start signing then too. That's kind of what I think. So we might get a free agent frenzy 2.0 once Nazem Kadri is signed and wherever he signs with, and for how much. For how much and how long. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Where do you think Kadri goes? Does Kadri go? Does Kadri stay with Colorado? Does he go elsewhere? I'd love to know where you guys think he might go. And how much do you think he'd make? How much could he make? How much term could he make? Love to know your guys' thoughts on that. And I thank you all for being here. Again, if you were new, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit like and subscribe down there. That would I would greatly appreciate it. That would be fantastic. And if you were able to make it all the way through the video, you're awesome. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you like this, check out some of the other videos on the channel. Hopefully you'll like those. And if you do, hit like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. I'll talk to you guys again later.